Another terrific night for baseball here at Fenway Park in Boston. Just like last night, our game time temperature 87 degrees. That's baseball weather. Red Sox will wrap up this two-game trip home to Fenway. Try and sweep this two-game series with the Cleveland Indians. Mike Hargrove's lineup for the Tribe tonight again has Kenny Lofton leading off, playing center field. Then Omar Vizquel out of a number 2 hole at short. David Justice hits third. He's the DH. Jim Thome back in the starting lineup tonight, assuming his cleanup spot again. Manny Ramirez dropping down by number 5 in the order, followed by Brian Giles in left field. Travis Fryman at third base. Sandy Alomar behind the plate, and David Bell, the second baseman, hits number 9.
And the defense tonight for the Red Sox, John Valentin will be at third base. Nomar Garciaparra, the shortstop. Mike Benjamin at second, and Mo Vaughn at first. Left to right, Troy O'Leary, Darren Lewis, and Darren Bragg. Scott Hatterberg behind the plate, and on the mound, right-handed Tim Wakefield. 10-4 on the season, 4.21 ERA. Wakefield has faced the Indians twice this year, has a no decision back on April 18th here at Fenway. The Red Sox lost that game 7-4 and had a win against the Indians back in Cleveland on April the 24th. He is 3-2 in his career in 7 starts against Cleveland.
0-1 since the All-Star break, losing his last start to the Orioles, giving up a home run in the ball game to Joe Carter. Well, tonight's umpires are being brought to you by NAM, National Arbitration and Mediation, the most timely and cost-effective way to settle your legal disputes. Jim McKeon is behind the plate tonight. Dale Ford is at first base. Al Clark at second, and Terry Kraft will be the umpire tonight at third. So it was the Express last night, served up by Pedro Martinez. He fired a 4-hit shutout, 1-0 at the Tribe, and tonight the Indians are going to have to contend with the knuckleball of Tim Wakefield. Mike Hargrove in the Cleveland dugout has been manager of the Tribe since 1991. Has Jim Thome back in his starting lineup tonight. We'll be hearing from Jim later on in the ball game. Joe Kerrigan, Sox pitching coach, in the foreground, and Jimmy Williams, the skipper, behind him. And he Lofton leads off for Cleveland, takes the called strike. Lofton 278 on the year, 8 round trippers and 44 runs batted in. Wakefield to 10 wins at the All-Star break for the first time in his career. His previous high was 7 wins back in the '95 season. Of course, the Sox went on to win the Eastern Division Championship. The looper off the bat of Lofton. Back to gather it in is Mike Benjamin, backpedaling at second base. So they keep that leadoff man off. They keep Lofton and his speed off the base paths. They've been successful so far the entire series.
Yeah, Pedro got a throw for 4 last night in that game, and first at bat tonight pops up the second base. You talked about the contrast in styles facing the last 2 pitches. Last night, the hard fastball and changeup for Martinez, and tonight, of course, that knuckleball creates problems for the Cleveland offense. Hopefully, it'll create problems for him. Certainly, Wakefield's hoping it will.
Omar Vizquel goes after the first pitch, rolls it to his counterpart. Omar Garciaparra throw up the line. Vaughn, though, able to get the tag on Vizquel. So 2 gone for the Indians here in the first. Vizquel among a number of the Tribe players talking about facing Wakefield tonight, saying how difficult it was going to be.
Throw's going to tail back up the line for Nomar, but Mo has enough time to come off the bag, make the catch, and then the tag to get the out at first base. As a runner, you always feel like, well, maybe I should have slid, but a lot of times when you're running down that line, you don't know how far off the bag that throw's going to be because you're watching the first base bag.
2 outs in the Indian first. David Justice is the hitter. He takes a called strike. Justice 284 in the year, 12 homers, 52 runs batted in. Has struggled at the plate recently. He was out for some extra hitting today under the tutelage of Mike Hargrove. Charlie Manuel, the normal batting coach for the Cleveland Indians sidelines. He is undergoing heart bypass surgery. Brian Graham has taken his place in the dugout, but it was Hargrove that was out working with a number of the Indian hitters today. Foremost among them, David Justice.
Now, with 1 hit last night, Justice broke an 0 for 15 that he was working on. A lot of that coming against the Yankees in that series at Cleveland.
Hargrove, like Justice, a left-handed hitter. You remember Mike Hargrove's at-bats, don't you, Jerry, during your career?
Used to call them the human rain delay. Take a long time between pitches. Still managed to play games though in 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Hargrove was a good hitter in his playing days. Here's Justice whistling one right down the foul line. That's a fair ball. That's a fair ball, touched by a fan apparently, and Justice will be awarded second base.
There's a few guys in this lineup tonight for Cleveland that have hit over 300 against Wakefield. Lofton, Bisquel, Justice, a 304 career hitter against Wakefield. And also Travis Fryman over 300. So they got some guys that have had some success against him. I think the fan's going to reach over here, interfere with the baseball, and they're going to call it fan interference double.
Justice with an extra base hit. Indians didn't waste much time getting a two-bagger here tonight. They've got Justice in scoring position. Jim Thome at the plate. Atterberg will hold on there behind the plate. Last night was the first game, Jerry, that the Indians were held without an extra base hit this year. Pedro Martinez limiting them to just the 4 singles.
Now these are the top 2 teams in doubles. The Red Sox lead the league in doubles, and Cleveland is second.
Indians had at least 1 extra base hit in their first 91 games this year. As a matter of fact, it went back to last year, 137 straight, dating back to last August the 13th. But Pedro mowed down the Tribe last night. It's the 4th time this year the Indians have been shut out. First time they've been held without an extra base hit. Lumber was pretty silent on both sides last night. We had a great pitching duel. Hope you had a chance to enjoy it along with us. Knuckleball for strike 2.
A couple of swings that Thome took in his at bat last night looked like that forearm was still bothering him, but apparently better today and back in the lineup.
Yeah, hit by an Andy Pettit fastball on Tuesday. Had to leave that ball game. The scratch of the starting lineup last night. Did go into the game in a pinch hitting role. Grounds this one to second, thrown out by Mike Benjamin, and that retires the Indians here in the top of the first. Justice stranded at second base. Indians scoreless. The Red Sox are coming up. Scoreless in the top half of the first inning. Now it's the Red Sox turn. Jimmy Williams lineup same as last night. Darren Lewis leads it off in center field, followed by Darren Bragg in right. Omar Garcia-Parra at short. Mo Vaughn will hit cleanup. Troy O'Leary is in left field. John Valentin at third base. Scott Hatteberg once again the catcher. Mike Benjamin at second base, and last night's hitting hero, the game winner, beat Ray Cummings, the DH.
And the Indians third in the league behind Baltimore and Tampa Bay in defense. Travis Fryman will be at third base. Omar Vizquel with only that 1 error at shortstop. David Bell at second and Jim Thome at first. There'll be Giles, Lofton, and Ramirez in the outfield. Alomar behind the plate. And on the mound, Doc Gooden. We had a chance to talk to Mike Hargrove about Gooden before the ball game.
He really has been throwing the ball well for us, especially his last couple of times out. He started out a little shaky, but every time out has been better and better. His velocity has climbed. Last time he threw anywhere from 90 to 93 miles an hour. Had a nice little tight slider and a good curveball, and he's a tremendous athlete. So that really helps. That gives you an extra fielder on the field. And Doc has kept us in the ball games he's pitched in. Hopefully he can do it again tonight.
Battling trips on the disabled list the last couple of years. Last year with the Yankees, he had hernia surgery, and it really cost him. He really didn't get going until late August before he was really at full strength. Never really was able to put it together with the Yankees last year, although he had a nice year, 9-5 with a 4.91 ERA. Spent some time earlier this year on the disabled list out of spring training. He had some bicep tendonitis in his right shoulder and had to make a number of rehab starts at Buffalo. Finally got going for the Tribe late May.
Numbers are good for Gooden. Hits below innings pitched, 50 hits, 52 innings. Held opponents to a .254 batting average.
Called strike on Darren Lewis. Lewis followed by Darren Bragg and Omar Garcia-Parra here in the Boston first. Darren Lewis, who struggled on the trip, did have a couple of hits for the Sox last night. 2 of their 7 safeties against Bartolo Colon. Lewis quickly down on the count to the dock, 0-2.
Lewis has had a lot of experience against Gooden in the National League, a .333 hitter against Doc.
Now ball, base hit. The 0-2 pitch grounded between Fryman at third and Vizquel at short, and Lewis is aboard to start the ball game.
Well, we touched upon it in the open, Bob, that a couple of guys last night had a few hits. Lewis had 2. Valentin had 2. Certainly would be good to see Lewis get hot again. He struggled some recently, and of course so important hitting leadoff at the top of that lineup.
Leadoff man on. Here is Darren Bragg at 285 homers and 35 runs batted in. One of the reporters was asking Jimmy Williams in his pregame press conference if Jimmy had considered putting Midray Cummings number 2. Here's Lewis, and Lewis swipes second base. Gooden has the reputation of being easy to run against, and Lewis testing him right away.
Number 15 on the season for Lewis. You're right, Bob. It takes Gooden a long time to get the ball home. Alomar's thrown out 29% of the runners this year, but an easy stolen base there for Lewis. Head first slide.
But the question was, would Cummings bat number 2? And Jimmy said, yeah, he thought about it, but he liked Bragg in that role. He said, Bragg, he's really doing well in that role right now. They'll leave well enough alone. Bragg number 2. Cummings is hitting number 9 as the DH. Now Bragg's job is to at least get Lewis to third base. Reaches out and fouls it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Last start for Gooden against the Red Sox came on September 9th of last year. He was no decision in a New York 8-6 win over Derek Lowe and the Red Sox. Lifetime 0-1 in the regular season. And of course, the Sox beat Gooden twice during the '86 series, both in Game 2 and Game 5 of that series against the Mets.
Highest total of strikeouts for Gooden at the major league level this year has been 5. He's done that a couple of times. Had only 1 in his last outing, but he pitched great against Minnesota.
Bragg is called out on strikes. Breaking ball from the dock.
The minor league level this year on those rehab starts had a few strikeout games of 8, but as I mentioned, 5 at the major league level. A lot of times you see the off-speed pitches away from Darren Bragg. This time they go to the inside corner and picks up his first strikeout.
Bragg is gone. Here's Nobar, 310 on the year, 13 homers, 58 runs batted in. Lewis swipes second. He's still at second base now with 1 out. Garciaparra takes a called strike. Omar hitless in the ball game last night. He was 0 for 4. Garciaparra has gone hitless in 2 consecutive games just once this year. That was on June 5th and 6th against the Mets. Fastball missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Both teams heading west after this one. Minnesota, the Red Sox heading to Detroit. And the Indians will go to Chicago. Here's a base hit for Garciaparra. Extra bases down that right field line. Rounding third in to score is Lewis. It's a 2-bagger for Garciaparra, and the Red Sox draw first blood. They lead it 1-0.
Well, Nomar's gone hitless, as you mentioned, only 1 time this year in 2 straight games. That was against the Mets. He was hitless last night, but not tonight. Takes the breaking ball right down the right field line and quickly gets the Red Sox on the board with a double. Garciaparra now with 19 doubles on the season, and that was RBI number 59.
Sox jump ahead of the Tribe 1-0. Nomar at second base. 1 out, and here's Mo Vaughn. Strike to Vaughn, who was hitless last night in 3 trips. Oh, 325 on the year, 23 round trippers, and 60 runs batted in. On 6th in hitting in the American League. Mo is 8th in the home run derby. Again, Doc Gooden goes inside, 1-2.
And a mixed reception for Vaughn as he came to the plate tonight.
Which is the reception that greeted Mo here last night in his first trip back to Fenway Park following the All-Star break. Gooden goes away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gooden was a winner against the Twins his last time out. Beat them on Saturday. Jacobs Field. It was his best start of the year. He had 4 hits. He scattered over 7 innings. Gave up just a home run to David Ortiz. Second time this year Gooden has beaten the Twins and Brad Radke. And here he strikes out Bo Vaughn. Second strikeout for Doc here in the first inning.
Both strikeouts for Gooden on that curveball, the over-the-top breaking pitch. And almost the same location as against Bragg, inside corner. 85th time that Vaughn has struck out this season. The eyes fire up, but no contact that time for Mo.
One down on strikes. Here's Troy O'Leary slicing one foul down the left field line. 1 strike. 284 for Troy. 14 home runs, 48 runs batted in. O'Leary's been stuck on that 14 home run figure for a while. His last one coming June 22nd against Philadelphia. One ball and 1 strike. First year for Doc Gooden out of New York City. Big years with the Mets, a couple of years with the Yankees, including a no-hitter a couple of years ago. Signing with Cleveland as a free agent during the offseason. Active a screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Another hot, humid night here at Fenway certainly takes its toll, you would think, as the night goes on, but you'd never know it by the pitches last night. Seemed like Martinez and Colon got stronger as the game went on.
Both of them from the Dominican Republic, where it's warm. Doc Gooden's from Tampa, Florida. He should be used to it.
Yeah, but they've had to go through a spring here in New England and in Cleveland, and it's not warm at that time of the year.
No, it's not. Saw Colon last night dumping that bucket of water over his head at one time to cool off. Here's O'Leary slicing another one foul. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's like they say guys that grow up around here can play well in the cold weather. That's baloney.
Why, weren't you a cold weather player?
I don't think anybody's a cold weather player. Because you played it, that doesn't mean you like it. You have no choice to get that big 20-game schedule in high school.
19 of which are rained out. O'Leary drives it to right field. Ramirez is back and will make the catch just shy of the warning track, and that retires the side. But the Sox get a run. They've got a 1-0 lead after 1.
Nothing lead. Let's take a look at the average leaders in the American League, brought to you by New England Ford dealers. Ivan Rodriguez just below 350. Hal Morris at 336. Matt Stairs 331. Todd Walker 328, and Jim Thome of the Indians at 326. Coming into the ball game tonight.
And Wakefield now with a 1-run lead to work with as he goes out to the mound for the second inning. Manny Ramirez, Brian Giles, Travis Fryman coming up for the Tribe. There are the numbers for Ramirez on the year, over 300, the 20 dingers. Wakefield, as usual, all set to go, waiting for Ramirez, and the knuckleball flutters across for strike 1.
Now, Ramirez is one guy that has had problems against Wakefield. 167 in his career against him.
You say in general it's the big swingers that have the most problems, or?
Well, tough to tell. When those big swingers make contact, though, they go a long way against knuckleball pitches.
one. Not solid contact, obviously, as it's fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ramirez has been decent this month with 5 home runs. Nobody can touch Albert Bell. Bell has homered 10 times in the month of July, 9 times since the All-Star break, 9 times in his last 8 games, including both ends of a doubleheader yesterday. Swung on and missed by Ramirez. Down on strikes. First victim of the night for Wakefield.
Yeah, the first time Wakefield faced the Indians here at Fenway had 6 strikeouts against Cleveland. Then he went back in his next game at Cleveland and had 3 strikeouts in the game that he won. It looked more like the curveball that time to get the strikeout.
One out in the Indians' second inning. Left fielder Brian Giles. That's a strike, says Jim McKean. 70 for Giles, 11 home runs, 6 of them coming very early in the season, and 39 runs batted in. Giles hit 6 home runs in his first 13 games, has 5 since then. Down 2 strikes to Wakefield. Lines this one to Benjamin at second base. 2 outs. Let's go downstairs now. Call in Bob Rogers and get an update on the Yankees and the Tigers in Detroit.
All right, Bob. Well, David Cone is looking for his 14th win of the season. Also looking for his 5th straight win. Second pitch of the game, Chuck Knobloch. Tall Jack, his 8th of the season. And just like that, the Yankees have an early lead. It's 1-0 in Detroit.
The Yankees flattened the Bengals last night, 11-0. Detroit, of course, next stop for the Red Sox. They'll be there tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. 3 over the weekend in the Motor City. Travis Fryman, 272 on the season. Fryman fouls it back. Detroit, of course, Fryman's old team.
His old team has had problems. 38-53 on the season. Last place in the Central. 14.5 out of first place.
Fryman came up with the Tigers in 1990 and played there through the end of last year. Played over 1,000 games in a Tiger uniform. 274 career hitter. Ryman represented Detroit in 4 All-Star games, the last time 1996.
Last knuckleball clocked at 60 miles an hour. Last night against Pedro, what, 94, 95?
Fouled off by Fryman. Is there something to the Wakefield following Martinez, or do we make too much of it, or is it just a theory? Or Dr. Remy, what do you say?
Well, apparently Jimmy Williams and Joe Kerrigan think so, because that's the way they wanted it from the first day of the season. I think there is something to it. I mean, I think no matter who Wakefield follows, it's going to be difficult. But when you face a guy that throws as hard as Martinez and that great changeup.
Fryman hits this one pretty well out to left field. Back goes O'Leary. O'Leary is looking up, and that's going to drop in the screen for a home run. And the ball game is tied on the home run by Travis Fryman.
Remember that theory about when it's low, let it go, when it's high, let it fly against hitting Wakefield? Well, it doesn't quite add up on this one, because this pitch is going to be low, but it's going to go a long way. That ball down around his knees, but still able to lift it up in that net for the home run. Number 18 on the season for Fryman. As I mentioned, he's one of the guys in this lineup that's handled Wakefield fairly well in his career.
Andy Alomar, fly ball down the right field line, chased by both Vaughn and Benjamin. Neither can get there. It's just a long strike. Talk about facing Martinez one night and then Wakefield the next. That's what the Indians were talking about in the clubhouse after the game. Omar Vizquel in particular last night. And they're going to get the combination of Martinez and Wakefield in the doubleheader next Tuesday in Cleveland. They'll get Pedro in game 1, and they'll get Wakefield in game 2.
You know, when you face a Martinez, so that's a hard 0 for 4. You know, I mean, it's a battle all night long. you're much more comfortable facing Wakefield, but it's an aggravating 0 for 4.
Off line drive, finds safety, base hit, right field. All this happening with 2 outs here in the 2nd inning. Alomar reaching with a 2-out single to right.
Well, Alomar now with a mini 4-game hitting streak. A little inside out swing that time. Took the line drive to the opposite field. That's an approach a lot of hitters will take. They'll try to wait a long time and just shoot the ball the other way.
Red Sox will see Buddy Bell tomorrow. They're looking at his son David play second base for the Indians tonight. David steps into one, drives this one deep to left field. It is going. It is gone. A home run for David Bell. Couple of bombs by the Indians here in the 2nd inning. Ryman's was more of a fly ball that found the net. Bell hit his a long way, and the Indians now have a 3-1 lead. Alomar scoring in front of David Bell.
Well, back to the theory of when it's high, let it fly, because this one is a high pitch, and Bell lets it fly. Right about let a high, and of course those are the ones that will go a long way. Wakefield's not had a 2-run home run game, I should say, since back in his 2nd and 3rd start. Since that time, the most they've had in a game is 1 against him, but already 2 hit a night.
Now 14 on the year. Bell had been struggling at the plate.
7, the center fielder, Kenny.
Yeah, 4 for his last 27. Make that 5 for 28.
Well, the Tribe with a 3-1 lead. Kenny Lofton, little blooper here to short. Garcia Parra makes the catch, and that retires the side. So all after 2 outs. Ryman homered, and so did Bell. Bell with a teammate aboard, and the Indians have a 3-1 lead after 1.5.
Taking a 3-1 lead as we move to the bottom of the 2nd. American League East rivals, the Toronto Blue Jays, fly to Fenway. The Battle of the Red Sox, the 23rd of July, 24th, 25th, and 26th. Come on out to Fenway and catch a game. For tickets, call 617-482-4SOX.
Now those 4 games against the Blue Jays, the only time that the Red Sox will be home between tonight and August the 11th. John Valentin leads off for the Old Town team against Doc Gooden after the first pitch to right field. Manny Ramirez is there to make the catch, 1 out. Well, Doc Gooden now up by a couple of runs. Teammates gave him 3. He's got a 3-1 lead.
Batting 7, number 10, the catcher.
Here's the Red Sox catcher, Scott Hatteberg. 274 on the year, 8 homers, 23 runs batted in. Hatteberg throwing out Brian Giles of the Indians, trying to steal last night.
Surely in a 1-0 ball game, very big play, and another big play was the play by Valentin on the bunt in the 9th inning.
Number of good plays last night. You mentioned Valentin's. Kenny Lofton had a nice catch, over the shoulder catch on the warning track in center field for the Indians. Hatteberg grounds it right side, booted there by Bell, and Hatteberg will reach. Bell couldn't make the play on the backhand, and the Red Sox get a runner with 1 out.
Well, when you say booted, I think that's correct, because I think it hit his boot. Goes to make the backhanded play, and I'm not quite sure he got the glove on it. Looked like it hit his foot.
Mike Benjamin.
Right there off the knee, and that's going to go as an error against the second baseman Bell. That'll be his 9th. See, he didn't work from the ground up with the glove. He tried to stab at the ball, and the ball got by him and hit him in the knee.
Error charge to Bell. Here's Mike Benjamin. Swings and misses. 1 strike to count. 308 average for Mike. 1 home run. That came on July the 5th against the White Sox. His first home run since June of '96. He was in the National League. Hit it against Houston and Shane Reynolds. So first homer for Benjamin in a couple years. Doc Gooden broke in as a fireballer for the Mets in 1984. A Rookie of the Year. He has a Cy Young Award to his credit. Benjamin swings and misses with Hatteberg taking off at first base on the 2-1 pitch. And it's now 2-2.
Little hit run put on by Jimmy Williams. They had that count 2-1. You expect to get a strike, but not an easy pitch for Benjamin to handle. The ball was inside. And at least he did make the contact, foul the ball off, and Hatteberg gets to go back to first base. You don't make contact on the hit and run. A lot of times it's a throw him out at second.
Now a full count. Hatteberg measuring his lead over at first base. He is off with the 3-2 pitch. It's up and in on Benjamin, ball 4. Now the Red Sox have 2 on with 1 out. We'll check in with Bob Rogers. Bob?
All right, Bob, matinee baseball. The Blue Jays snapped their 4-game losing streak, and it's Carlos Delgado snapping a 1-for-30 slump with a couple of RBI singles. This one made it 4-2 to Toronto. The Blue Jays win it 5-2. By the way, Albert Bell went 0-for-4 with 3 strikeouts.
Falling a couple of games under 500. They make up 1 with a win this afternoon. Here's Midray Cummings. Takes a called strike. All 3 home runs have been huge for the Red Sox. One tied a game in Detroit. The other one won a game against the Tigers. And last night's was the game winner. The only run on the scoreboard is Martinez outdueled Colon. Cummings led off the 5th inning against Bartolo Colon last night with a home run into the right field seats. So 3 big home runs for Cummings, who still finds himself, Jerry, hitting number 9.
How dare Jimmy Williams put him 9th?
Hey, it worked last night. Foul down the right field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, it certainly sounds that Reggie Jefferson's going to be out for a while, which is not good news for the Red Sox. Should mean more at bats against right-handers for Midray Cummings. And of course, with the trading deadline approaching in a couple of weeks, we'll have to see what moves, if any, the Red Sox make. Certainly they'll be trying to make some moves, maybe for a pitcher.
Today is the 16th. Trading deadline just over 2 weeks away on July the 31st. Cummings is called out on strikes as Gooden gets the call over the inside corner.
Now, all 3 strikeouts for Gooden have been against lefties, and all on the same pitch, the breaking ball on the inside part of the plate.
Number 20, the center
Almost the
fielder.
exact same pitch that we got Vaughn and Darren Bragg.
Well, decent career numbers for Darren Lewis against Doc Gooden from their days in the National League. Lewis had a single here in the ball game tonight, leading off for the Sox in the 1st inning, and has scored the lone Boston run to this point. Takes one up high, 1 ball, no strikes. Lewis singled to open the bottom of the 1st, stole 2nd, and scored on Nomar Garcia Parra's doubled into the right field corner.
Gooden's been about 90-91 with the fastball so far.
Hitters count for Darren here. 2 balls, no strikes. Red Sox trying to take advantage of the extra out given them by Giles' error here in the 2nd. 2-0 pitch. Lewis in the air to left field, but not enough on it. Settling into the glove of Brian Giles, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, 1 error. Sox strand a pair. We played 2 here at Fenway tonight. The Indians 3 and Boston 1. Baseball on TV, so nice. Like Ernie Banks says, let's play 2. So 1 here and then 1 immediately following this ball game for you tonight here on NESN as part of the Fox Thursday night baseball package. Tampa Bay Devil Rays out west to take on the Anaheim Angels. That's coming up immediately after our ball game tonight. So Sox and Indians followed by Tampa Bay and Anaheim tonight right here on NESN.
And of course, if you're a Red Sox fan, you root for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays in that one.
Now, Anaheim might well be part of that wild card chase. If you want to peek that far ahead, what are the wild card standings now? Sox have a 4-game lead over Texas. Right now, Texas running 2nd to Anaheim in the West. Sox are up by 9 over the Blue Jays and 10.5 up on the Orioles, who are making a charge, by the way. The Orioles have won, what, 7 in a row now?
Yeah, they're down to 25.5 out of first place now.
Whittling away. Omar Vizquel looks at a strike, quickly down 2 strikes to Wakefield. We'll get our count right. 1 ball, 2 strikes is now the count. And that'll even things at 2-2. Vizquel bounced out to Garcia Parra at short when after the first pitch, his first at bat back in the first inning. Sitting here on a 2-2 pitch. Down on strikes. Second strikeout of the night for Wakefield. And Manny Ramirez last inning.
Well, Vizquel, one of the toughest guys in the league to strike out. He's only struck out now 37 times, and that's 7th best in the league. But Wakefield gets him that time.
The designated hitter.
You know the toughest guy in the league to strike out is Mike Caruso, the rookie shortstop for the Chicago White Sox. Just saw him a couple of series ago.
Wasn't the guy before him, Ozzie Guillen, very difficult to strike out too?
Yeah, he was always at the top of that list. Ozzie never got the 2 strikes.
Ever? David Justice.
Seemed like never.
David Justice, the designated hitter. There's his career numbers against Wakefield. Which is up high. Justice whistled the double off the right field wall back in the first inning.
You know what the 9th toughest guy to strike out in the American League is? This might surprise you. Nomar.
Is that right?
Yep.
O'Leary puts it away, and there's 2 outs in the inning. Jim Thome coming up now for the Indians. We had a chance to talk to Jim before the ball game and ask him what's it like to try and hit that knuckleball.
You know, there's really no way to approach it. I guess you try to look for the ball up and not try to do too much, but just try to. It's tough. It's probably one of the toughest pitches to handle because it's moving so much, and you don't want to necessarily try to be too aggressive, but you got to. I guess the big thing is just make contact.
What do you say, Jerry?
That's a good start to
Yeah.
try to make contact.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of befuddles hitters.
Well, the knuckleball's tough to hit and it's tough to talk about too.
That's like when the pitching coach goes out to the pitcher and, you know, don't give him anything good to hit but throw strikes, along the same type of thing. He was talking about if it's high, let it fly. Same theory you were talking about earlier when he was talking about it. Fouled at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Thome, a leader in that Cleveland clubhouse. Was a third baseman, shifted to first to make room for Matt Williams last year. It's his swings at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Knuckleball drops down across the plate for strike 3. 3 strikeouts for Wakefield. 1, 2, 3. Go the Indians in the third. Still 3-1.
Lead. Come on out to Fenway Thursday, July 23rd, when the Red Sox take on the Toronto Blue Jays. First 15,000 fans, 1,500, receive a baseball card book compliments of Major League Baseball, which includes 10 Major League Baseball player cards. For tickets, call 617-482-4SOX.
Aaron Bragg leads off the third inning for the Red Sox against Doc Gooden, followed by Nomar Garcia Parra and then Mo Vaughn. Bragg was a strikeout victim his first time up. Goes after the first pitch this time. Rounds to Jim Thome at first base. 1 pitch and 1 out. Now we had 2 Dominican on the hill last night. Bartolo Colon and of course Pedro Martinez. All the teams, a lot of the teams very active in the Dominican Republic. Certainly the Red Sox are in there with both feet. And last night right-handed pitcher Fabricio Benitez, who is 17 years old, for the Red Sox Dominican Summer League team, pitched a 1-0 no-hitter, a 7-inning no-hitter in the first game of a doubleheader against the Los Angeles Dodgers entry. So congratulations to Fabricio Benitez. great baseball players coming out of the Dominican Republic, and the Red Sox are very active down there. Nomar Garcia-Parra at bat here for the Sox with 1 out in the 3rd. Nomar hits it high in the air to left field. Giles back, looking up, going. It's not gone. It's off the wall. That scraped the wall on the way down. Didn't have enough oomph to carry over the wall, but off the paint there. It's a 2-base hit for Nomar.
Now that's a good example of a Fenway double, the win again tonight, just like last night, blowing out toward the left field wall, and I believe it pushed this ball just enough to get it off the wall. Looked like for a second it might have enough legs to be a home run, but you see it scrape the wall on the way down, and back-to-back doubles for Garcia-Parra.
Knocked in a run with his 19th double of the season in the 1st inning. He's at second base with 1 out here in the 2nd, and Mo Vaughn getting ready to do battle against Doc Gooden. Gooden won round 1 tonight, getting Vaughn on strikes. Had him swinging at the breaking ball back in the 1st inning. Same situation here for Mo with Nomar at second base. Gooden missing downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
Sir Gallimore might have been crossed up on that pitch by Gooden too.
There's a breaking ball, catches the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. On 2 for 8 career-wise against Gooden with a double. Gooden can field his position well. Throws out Mo Vaughn as Garcia-Parra moves from 2nd to 3rd.
I'll say one thing. Gooden has been consistent with that breaking ball against the lefties. He's kept it inside, and you'll see on this pitch here, Mo can't get his arms extended. Breaking ball down and in, and Mo almost jams himself with that swing. And you're right, Bob. Gooden is a very good defensive fielding pitcher. Gets the easy out at first base.
Two outs for the Sox. Troy O'Leary watches one, sail wide, 1 ball, no strikes. O'Leary lined out to Ramirez at right field back in the 1st inning. Two-0. Sox come into tonight 54 wins, 38 losses. Second best record in the American League with the Yankees. Sox are now 1 game better than the Indians following their 1-0 win over the Tribe here last night. Sox have had good success against Cleveland, winning 6 of the 7 meetings so far this year, including a 4-1 mark here at Fenway Park. Popped up by O'Leary. David Bell, the second baseman, will make the play, and that retires the side. No run. The 4th inning on tap. Indians have a 3-1 lead over the Red Sox. Manny Ramirez stepping in here against Tim Wakefield. Ryan Giles, Travis Fryman to follow. Ramirez sends 1 foul, and back at the Red Sox dugout, 1 strike. Over the 300 figure for the month of July, including 5 round trippers for Ramirez. Rounded here to Nomar Garcia-Parra. The long throw, the big stretch by Mo Vaughn, and 1 out. Wakefield's now retired 5 in a row since David Bell's 2-run homer back in the 2nd.
Number 22.
All the runs coming on the long ball for the Indians tonight. Fryman a solo home run with 2 outs in the 2nd. Alomar followed with a single to right, and then David Bell knocked it over the wall. Here's Brian Giles, the left fielder. Looks at ball 1. Indians have clubbed 115 home runs now. That is 4th best in the American League. They're 3rd in the American League as far as scoring runs, behind Texas and New York. 3-0 on Giles.
The Blue Jays have been hitting a lot of home runs. They've got 122 home runs. Of course, Seattle leads with 150. Blue Jays stealing a lot of bases and hitting a lot of home runs.
Wakefield walks Giles on 4 pitches. First walk issued by Wakefield tonight. Sox had a 1-0 lead the last time Travis Fryman came up. That was with 2 outs in the second inning. And here's Fryman against Wakefield. It's a long, high fly ball, and it will drop over the monster and into the screen. The home run for Fryman, and that tied the ball game. See that Fryman has done a pretty good job against Wakefield in his career. Fryman's a .274 career hitter. It's about 60 points higher than that against Wakefield. One ball, no strikes. Detroit traded Fryman to the Arizona Diamondbacks minutes after the expansion draft last November in exchange for infielder Joe Randa, infielder Gabe Alvarez, and pitcher Matt Drews. Fryman signed a 5-year contract with the Devil Rays and then was promptly traded to Cleveland for Matt Williams. Vaughn holds with Giles at first base. Wakefield off the mound, boots the ball, but it's a foul ball. Ruled a foul ball. It's a break for the Red Sox.
I think the ball hit right off Fryman's foot before making its way out to the mound. Looked like a fastball that time that hits Fryman in the toe.
Well, it's 2 balls and a strike. Giles at first base with 1 out.
As Giles was on the disabled list with a sprained ankle, you have to wonder if he's at 100%. He got thrown out last night stealing second base. Does have 6 on the season.
Rounded to third. John Valentin goes to second for 1. Benjamin back to Vaughn. The old around the horn. 5-4-3. Inning-ending double play. 3.5 played here at Fenway Park. Sox trailing the Tribe 3-1. Sox set the bat here in the home half of the 4th inning. Check our game summary. David Bell's 2-run homer. Back in the 2nd inning, the difference in the ball game, Fryman had tied the game earlier with his 4th career home run against Wakefield, and Nomar Garciaparra has a couple of doubles for the Red Sox, knocked in a run back in the 1st inning. So the Sox trailing 3-1 as John Valentin leads off the home half of the 4th. Valentin, Hatteberg, and Benjamin to face the Doctor. One ball, no strikes.
Not exactly a lot of runs scored for Gooden in his starts. They've only been averaging just over 3 runs a game for him. A total of 5 runs in his 3 losses this season. Well, he has his 3 so far in this game tonight.
Comes in 3-3, nifty 3.29 ERA as he pitches upstairs to Valentin. Gooden Rookie of the Year with the Mets in the National League in 1984. Won 17 games that year. Won the Cy Young the following year, going 24-4 with a 1.53 ERA. First 3 years in the majors for Doc, 84, 85, and 86 were his 3 best. Valentin to right center field. That's a base hit.
Well, Valentin starting this game up over the 260 mark, 261, now 1 for 2, and he's had a couple of hits the last few nights. to the opposite field.
The catcher.
Means he's staying on the baseball a little bit better, not surrounding the ball.
Leadoff man aboard. Here's Scott Hatteberg, who reached on David Bell's error back in the second. Hatteberg has a 5-game hitting streak, which ties his season and career high. Been sort of pecking away in the 5 games, has 5 hits and 15 trips during the hitting streak, so 1 a game. But it's a 5-gamer, and it's on the line here tonight. 0 for 1 officially. Couldn't waste one away. A ball and 2 strikes.
Another big crowd here tonight at Fenway. Bleachers starting to fill up.
Bucks had 33,000 plus last night for that great pitching duel. Look close to matching that figure tonight. Great night for baseball. Very attractive opponent with Cleveland in town. Plus one of the few chances to see the Red Sox in action. Here between now and the middle of August, you only have 4 others, and that's that weekend 23rd through the 26th when the Blue Jays are in town. It's the Sox only home dates. They're going to be road warriors until the middle of August.
We talked about last night, Bob. It's not like the NBA or National Football League where it's tough to win on the road, but they're on the road so much you just get tired of it.
Down on strikes goes Hatteberg. Gooden continues his big success against left-handed hitters tonight.
Again, that's that breaking ball, and he's doing a real good job tying up those left-handed hitters inside with it. He's not left one of them out over the plate.
Number 28.
Down and in. That's kind of a blind spot for a left-handed hitter. It's like a lefty throwing that slider down and into those righties. Red Sox enjoying wearing their white uniforms for a couple of games and having the crowd behind them.
That's your gray sport coats packed. It's gray on the road, right?
What?
Our sport coach, we wear gray on the road.
I'm going with the blue blazer. The blue blazer for every game on this trip. How's that?
Vanessa traveling blue.
Look at that closet after just getting off the road. You don't have a lot left, you know.
Are you on your second suitcase of the year? Mike Benjamin battling Doc Gooden.
Of course, if it's this hot in Detroit, we'll be doing the game in tank tops tomorrow night in that booth.
Now we can slide on a little AC back behind us with the open window here at Fenway. In Detroit, you bake.
Be kind of an ugly sight, wouldn't it?
Line drive, base hit, left field. Don Valentin will check in at second base. A pair of singles for the Red Sox. They've got runners at first and second, 1 out here in the 4th.
Number 29. The designated hitter, Midray Cummings.
Well, Red Sox at this point out hitting the Indians 5-4, but the Indians have the 3-1 lead. Benjamin taking that fastball, pulling it for the base hit.
Cummings at bat here with the same situation he had when he came to the plate in the second inning. 2 on, 1 out. Midray was called out on strikes in the second. See how he fares here against Doc Gooden in the 4th. Again, Tampa Bay and Anaheim on Fox Thursday baseball to follow this one. Numbers not good for Midray with runners in scoring position, but does have the 3 home runs on the year for the Sox. That breaking ball again. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not good, and 3-3 on the year. 2 wins against the Minnesota Twins. Beat the Twins and Brad Radke, their ace, twice. 2 strikes. Valentin at second base. Benjamin at first. That's Sandy Alomar behind the plate for the Indians. Here's the 1-2 now to Cummings, and Gooden does not get the call on the inside corner. Just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's one of those nights where those catches, they lose a lot of weight through a game like this. All that equipment on, very humid, warm.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Diving back in safely at second base, John Valentin, as Vizquel cut behind him.
The timing on that play between Gooden and Vizquel made it a fairly close play at second base, and Valentin really wasn't that far off the bag.
Runners are going on the 3-2 pitch, and it's fouled away by Cummings.
It's always a gamble, especially with the left-handed hitter at the plate. If it's a strikeout, it's a wide open view for Alomar. Nobody in that right-handed batter's box that has to throw around or behind. Jimmy Williams banking on Cummings making contact here in the 3-2 count.
Runners in motion again. 3-2 pitch outside for ball 4, and that'll load him up. Loads him up for the top of the order coming up for the Red Sox.
Mark Wiley, the pitching coach, out to have a little conversation with Gooden. No activity in the bullpen for Cleveland.
Mark Wiley, the pitching coach, out, and we'll head back now to the Indian dugout.
Number 20, the center fielder, Darren Lewis.
Bases are loaded for Darren Lewis, with Valentin at third, Benjamin at second, and Midre Cummings at first. Very good career numbers for Lewis with the bases loaded as he battles Doc Gooden. Missed away with the fastball.
Here's where the Red Sox need one of those big hits. Bases loaded hit. Break out of that slump. They've had a few opportunities like this, especially in that series against Tampa.
Hot shot. It's going to be a double play. Tomey spears it, steps on the first base bag, doubles off Cummings, and the threat dies. Sox leave 2 aboard. Double play ends the inning, and the Indians a 3-1 lead as they head to the 5th. Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Frost Brewed Coors Light, who reminds you the 3 most important words are, hey, beer man. By your New England Ford dealer. Stop by your New England Ford dealer for great savings on new Ford cars and trucks. And buy the Discover card. It pays to discover, accepted where you see the Nova sign. Sox still continue to struggle to score runs. Had a chance there against Doc Gooden in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Not much you can do about this. You hit the ball right on the button on the line, but it's right at Tomey. And of course, no chance for that base runner at first base. You're going to be doubled up easily.
So still a 3-1 lead for the Indians. Tribe comes to bat here against Wakefield in the top of the 5th inning. Sandy Alomar to lead it off. Alomar had a base hit to right field his first trip and then came in on David Bell's home run. All the Indians scoring back in the 2nd inning. And all after 2 outs. Ryman homered. Alomar singled. Bell followed with a home run. Adds up to a 3-1 Cleveland advantage.
Wakefield took something off the knuckleball that time. That was 56 miles an hour.
You got a radar gun in your watch there? Little pop fly. Mike Benjamin back on the outfield grass. Makes the catch. 1 out. David Bell makes his way to the plate. Bell, his last trip in the 2nd inning, had Alomar at first base, and he goes deep. No doubt about this one when it leaves the bat. It is gone. A home run for Bell. So Bell rematched here against Wakefield. A home run for Bell, his 8th of the season. Fly ball, center field. Darren Lewis in a step, back a couple steps, makes the catch. 2 outs. And home run by Bell, by the way, the last Indian hit. Wakefield has retired every hitter since then, except Giles, who walked, and he was erased in a double play. Wakefield has faced the minimum 10 hitters since the home run by Bell. Top of the order, strike on Kenny Lofton, who's 0 for 2 tonight and 0 for 6 in the series. Foul past Al Bunbury in the first base coaching box.
Dave Nelson was the first base coach last season. He's now doing radio for the Cleveland Indians. Bunbury moves into the first base box.
They keep telling you your job is a promotion. Foul back behind the plate. People want to get off that field, get it back up here in the booth.
Not as many headaches.
Lofton sends this one slicing away from Darren Lewis. Lewis over, won't be able to get it. It'll go all the way to the wall. Lofton with terrific speed, round second, heads for third, and he will go in with a 3-bagger. No extra base hits for the Indians last night as they battled Martinez. They have a couple tonight, though, against Wakefield.
This will be the 5th triple of the season for Lofton. You can see this ball just slicing away from Darren Lewis, and he can't quite catch up to it. Once it gets by him, it's going to be at least a double and maybe 3. By the time Lewis gets back up, Kenny Lofton on his way to third base with the easy triple. He can really fly, can he? Watch him go in first to third.
Indians have 5 hits tonight. 4 of them have been for extra bases. 2 homers, a double, and a triple.
Vizquel switching around to the right side of the plate.
Batted left-handed the first 2 times. No success. Ground ball to short and a strikeout. Try it right-handed. 2 balls, no strikes.
Vizquel carries a higher average from the right side, 320 as opposed to 280 as a left-handed hitter. Pretty nice number there, huh, with 2 outs.
Fastballs by Wakefield. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, a lot more pressure on Hatterberg, too, in this situation with Lofton at great speed at third base. Any kind of bobble doesn't have to get that far away from Hatterberg for Lofton to score with his speed.
First time Lofton has reached against the Red Sox in this series. Hot shot. That's a base hit down into the left field corner. Lofton will easily score. Vizquel going for extra bases. He has a 2-base hit. Indians have a 4-1 lead.
Well, it pays off of Vizquel moving to the right side, plus the fact he fell behind him and came with a fastball on the 3-1 count. Vizquel right down the left field line. Well, you still those numbers with the 2 outs and man in scoring position. He's going to add to that with that base hit to drive in Kenny Lofton, make it a 4-1 game. 31st RBI and 19th double for Vizquel.
David Justice follows, sending this one right down the right field line. That's a foul ball, says Dale Ford. Close to the same place that Justice hit it back in the first inning. His double to right was just fair. This one is foul.
Not by very much, but certainly in foul territory. How far is that down the line?
301.
301.
One ball, one strike. One ball, two strikes. Vizquel at second base with 2 outs, a run in for the Indians here in the 5th inning. Justice down swinging, and that retires the side. The Indians get the triple from Lofton, the double by Vizquel again, the run scoring with 2 outs, and Cleveland has a 4-1 lead after 4.5.
The Simply the Best Summerfest is almost over. This could be your last chance to get up to $1,200 cash back in Tacoma pickups, or choose financing as low as 2.4% APR for 24 months and 6% for up to 60 months, or lease for just $189 a month.
You know you gotta go to where the deals are better. Let's get together and do it.
We're doing it again with the summer's hottest deals, so hurry. The Summerfest ends July 31st.
You know what makes Coors Light special? It's perfect. Almost anywhere. Anywhere there's a fan craving a taste of the Rockies, that's where a cold Coors Light belongs. If somewhere an athlete is playing sports and someone else, a fan, is watching him play sports, well, then that's where I'll be. Because that's where a frost-brewed Coors Light belongs. Now, who wants one? Cold Coors Light. You, sir, in the blazer. You, sir, with that putter. Put that stick down. Pick this beer up.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Back here at Fenway, Sox trailing the Tribe 4-1. Boston coming to bat here, bottom half the fifth inning. We'll check the Red Sox schedule through the weekend in Detroit. Tomorrow night, you can see tomorrow night's game on Channel 68. Saturday nights on Nesson, and then Sunday on Channel 68 at 1 o'clock. The Indians, a day-night doubleheader next Tuesday. Both games on Nesson. That'll feature Martinez and Wakefield in those 2 ball games for the Sox. And then 7:30 Wednesday night, also on Nesson, before the Sox come home and play the Blue Jays. So that's the road trip. Aaron Bragg, Nomar Garcia-Parra, Mo Vaughn for the Red Sox here in the 5th inning. Bragg has been called out on strikes tonight and is grounded out to Jim Thome unassisted at first base. Bragg hammers this one to left field. Over is Giles. He'll have to play it off the wall. Bragg going for 2. Here's the throw. It's not in time. Sliding in and grabbing the bag, Darren Bragg. He leads the 5th for the Red Sox with a 2-bagger.
Now, Red Sox now have 6 hits, and 3 of those hits are doubles. It's a heck of a play by Giles. It's right at the top of the padding, and he gets it quickly back into second base, which is going to force Bragg to slide to the infield side of the bag to be safe. There's the quick tag, attempted tag by Bell, but a good slide by Darren Bragg. He saw where the throw was going. He knew it was going to be outside, so he'll slide to the inside and had the leadoff double.
Bragg in scoring position. Nomar Garcia-Parra at the plate. Fastball from Gooden for a strike. Nomar's 2 for 2 tonight, a pair of two-baggers. Double to right in the first inning, a double to left in the third. Another fastball from Gooden. This one misses down and in, a ball and a strike. Indians have done all their damage tonight after the first two hitters were retired in the inning. 2 gone in the fourth when Fryman homered, Alomar singled, and Bell homered for the 2 runs. Another Indian run in the fifth, 2 out triple by Lofton and a double to follow by Vizquel. Red Sox run came in the first inning, but Garcia-Parra's double knocking in Darren Lewis. Mentioned Doc Gooden has 2 wins against the Twins this year. The other was against the Chicago Cubs, who he has absolutely blown away in his major league career. He has a lifetime mark against the Cubbies, 28-4. Inside, and that caught Garcia-Parra. Garcia-Parra hit by the pitch.
Well, the fans are booing, but certainly Doc Gooden not throwing at Nomar there. After the breaking ball away, he wants to try to get him out with the fastball inside. Too far inside, and gets Nomar off the back.
Number 42, the first baseman, Mo Vaughn.
Well, Mo's had some chances tonight, hasn't he? There's been some men on base.
Mo came up with Nomar at second base. 1 out in the first inning and struck out. Came up with Nomar again at second base. 1 out in the third and bounced out to Gooden.
That's the 5th time that Nomar has been hit by a pitch that ties him with Vaughn for the team lead in that category that I don't think anybody wants to lead in.
Sox last inning had the bases loaded, 1 out, failed to score. Now they have 2 on, nobody out, as Gooden set to battle Mo Vaughn. Up and in on Mo. 1 ball, no strikes. Bragg at second, Garcia-Parra at first, nobody out for the Red Sox. Mounded over towards the Red Sox dugout, a ball and a strike.
Once again, Gooden ties Mo up inside with that breaking ball.
Vaughn 0 for 3 last night, 0 for 5 in the series. Gooden trying to get out of difficulty again here in the 5th. Again goes inside on Vaughn. 2-1. Vaughn hammers it foul past Dave Jowis in the first base coaching box. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Sometimes you get so many of those pitches inside like that, Bobby, you start to think the next one's going to be there, and a lot of times they'll freeze you on the outside corner with a fastball. Let's see how Gooden goes after Mo now with 2 strikes.
Sox down by 3. Mo could tie it with 1 swing of the bat. Gooden goes away with a fastball. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Trying to go away, tried to go up and away with it.
Roy O'Leary waiting his turn in the on-deck circle, seeing how this Vaughn-Gooden battle comes out. Here's the payoff pitch to Mo. Foul back to the screen. Bragg off second base. Garcia Parra off first. Sandy Alomar flashing the signs out to Doc Gooden. Inside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Yeah, there is some action now out in the bullpen. Gooden got out of the bases loaded jam last inning with the line drive that turned into a double play. Bases loaded again, this time nobody out.
Second visit of the night for Mark Wiley, the pitching coach, as Mike Hargrove looks on from the Cleveland dugout. Well, we have the opportunity. Let's run downstairs, check in with Bob Rogers, get an update on the Yankees and the Tigers from Detroit. Bob?
Yes, Bob. Tonight's starter for Detroit, Brian Mueller, is undefeated at home this season. He's 8-0. He was on the short end of a 1-0 score until Raul Casanova. Top deck, Tall Jack. His first of the year. It's 1-1 in the 6th.
Sox will see those Tigers tomorrow night. Jin-Ho Cho goes against Brian Powell tomorrow night at Tiger Stadium, 7 o'clock game time. At OJ in the Cleveland bullpen. Bases loaded. Troy O'Leary at the plate. Gooden suddenly having control problems downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. The doctor has struck out 4 tonight. He has walked 3. Facing O'Leary here with the bases loaded and nobody out. Bragg at third, Garcia Parra at second, and Mo Vaughn aboard at first. Big call, and Gooden gets it on the outside corner. Looked to be a bit wide.
And that's frustrating for O'Leary. Instead of having to count 2-0 with the bases loaded where he can pick a pitch, a little different situation now on the 1-1.
Fly ball left field. Giles is back. Gone! A home run for O'Leary. A grand slam home run. Bragg scores. Garcia Parra scores. Vaughn will score, and here comes O'Leary. The Red Sox take the lead 5-4.
Now remember, we told you the location of that breaking ball has been excellent for Gooden all night against lefties down and in. Well, this one does not get down and in. It stays out over the plate, and O'Leary will lose it up into the net.
Mentioned O'Leary had been stuck with 14 home runs since late June. June 22nd against Philadelphia was his last one. July the 16th tonight against the Cleveland Indians. He goes deep. The grand slam home run, and the Red Sox have the lead 5-4. John Valentin at the plate. Hop to short. Omar Vizquel will make the play. Vizquel to Tomey for the first out of the inning.
Watch the location of the breaking ball this time from Gooden against Troy O'Leary.
Number 10.
Lobs over the left field wall.
Scott Hatteberg.
All night it had been down and in against lefties. This time flat and away. Lets O'Leary gets his arms extended, and it's his second career grand slam.
Home run number 15 on the year for O'Leary. Scott Hatteberg at the plate for the Red Sox. 0 for 2 tonight. Safe on the error by Bell at second and down on strikes. Well, dating back to that Tampa series, as you had mentioned, Jerry, the Red Sox had had a lot of opportunities in situations like that. Hadn't been able to cash in, and they do there with O'Leary going deep. Missed inside with the fastball. Hargrove in the Cleveland dugout. Dwight Gooden now has thrown 90 pitches at this point of the game. A couple of near misses on Hatteberg, and the count is 2-2. Again goes inside, full count. So from 0-2, we go to a full count on Hatteberg. Chad O.J. continues to throw in the bullpen for the Indians. Hatteberg will ground this one to third base. Travis Fryman's throw across the diamond to Jim Thome, 2 outs.
Number 28, the second baseman.
Bragg opened the inning with a double. Garciaparra hit by a pitch. Vaughn walked on a 3-2 pitch to load the bases. And then Troy O'Leary deposited one, the breaking ball, over the left field wall into the screen. 4 instant runs for the Red Sox and a 5-4 lead. Mike Benjamin to center field. Kenny Lofton is there. Makes the catch, and that retires the side. Sox get 4 on the grand slam by O'Leary. And they lead the Tribe 5-4 as we head to the 6th.
Pedro Martinez. Price guarantee. Award winner.
5-4 as the Indians come up against Wakefield here in the 6th inning. Monday is an off day for the Red Sox, but not for baseball on Nesson. The Paw Sox are in action on Monday night. They'll be taking on the Yankees' top farm club, the Columbus Clippers. The Paw Sox in Columbus, 7 o'clock Monday night for you right here on Nesson.
Number 25, the first baseman, Jim
Dwight
Thome.
Gooden checking in with Mike Hargrove in the Cleveland dugout. Meanwhile, they're all smiles on the other side.
Jin Ho Cho learning some baseball lingo down at that end of the dugout.
Jim Thome up for the Indians. They've had him cracked up a couple times.
I know he's not afraid to laugh, that's for sure.
Wakefield has the lead now, 5-4. Jim Thome, Manny Ramirez, Brian Giles coming up. Boy, Oakland's been playing well. Swing and a miss by Thome. No balls, 2 strikes. Tampa Bay and Anaheim. That's the ball game that'll follow this tonight on Nesson. Second half of our Thursday night doubleheader. Thome called out on strikes. 5 on the night now for Wakefield.
Tome's going to argue about this call a bit with McKeon, but it looked like it was right down the middle of the plate. When time he looks back and he sees the glove of Hatteberg, that's like after the fact, because the glove's already dropped down after making the catch on the pitch.
Now the replay confirms Jim McKeon's call. It was a strike. One out. Manny Ramirez fouls it back towards the roof boxes. Ramirez went down swinging in the first inning, grounded to Garciaparra at shortstop in the 4th.
O.J. continues to throw, so that may be it for Doc Gooden.
And Ramirez fouls it back just about the same place. 0-2. You were saying that Gooden's last start against the Twins was his best of the year. Wasn't able to match that effort here against the Red Sox tonight. Was in difficulty a couple times. Managed to get out of it. And finally O'Leary hit the grand slam to give the Red Sox the lead.
Looks like he's throwing the ball well, Bob. You know, remember last year we saw him here pitching against with the Yankees against the Red Sox, and tonight it looked like he threw the ball better than at the time last season when the Red Sox saw him.
Look at that Cleveland starting rotation, which also features Bartolo Colon, Burba, Jarrett Wright, and Charles Nagy. Although Nagy right now has been given notice that his next start or two better be good, or O.J. may be back in that starting rotation. O.J. right now moving out to the bullpen. Ramirez chased it and down on strikes. a half a dozen strikeouts for Wakefield, including the last 3 in a row.
Now he's thrown a couple tonight slower than usual. This one again, a 56-mile-an-hour knuckleball, and has Ramirez way out on that front foot. A knuckleball that acted like a curve right at the end, away from Ramirez.
What was that one? 55.725?
Exactly 56, right on the button.
2 outs. Brian Giles takes a called strike.
The invisible Nesson radar gun.
We've got it tracked. Fastball inside. Backs him away. 1-1. Wakefield 10 wins, 4 losses on the year. Came in with a 4.21 ERA. Speaking of ERAs, after last night, Cologne still leads the American League. He's dropped to 2.48 now. Martinez is second at 2.72. Arabu threw 8 innings, a shutout ball against the Tigers last night. In Detroit, he's at 2.79. Mike Benjamin gets the gate down at second base. Over to Mo Vaughn, a 1-2-3 6th inning for Tim Wakefield. We played 5 1/2 here at Fenway tonight. Wakefield and the Red Sox, thanks to the grand slam by O'Leary, have the 5-4 lead.
The 5-4 lead as we move to the bottom of the 6th. Well, the Red Sox are looking to continue their winning ways for the second half of the season. Don't miss your chance to root for the Red Sox. Good seats are available for upcoming games. All the ticket offices, 617-482-4SOX.
Red Sox have the lead 5-4 as we speculated. That's all for Dwight Gooden. He leaves after 5 innings, and Chad O.J. now will be the next Indians hurler.
A lot of injuries have hurt O.J. so far this season. He's been on a DL twice. Once he went under knee surgery in March, and then placed on a DL at the end of May with a strained right pec muscle. Starting back in the bullpen, but expected to join the rotation very soon. That's his last and only relief outing of the season, that coming against the Yankees.
Well, O.J. takes over from Doc Gooden, who went 5 innings, gives up 5 runs, 7 hits, including the grand slam to O'Leary, struck out 4 and walked 3. Well, you've met before Bob Tomaselli, our first base cameraman. He wants to send his best to his aunt, Celia Tossi, who never misses a Red Sox game. Wishing her a very speedy recovery, and we want to say hi to our Nesson colleague, Brian Quinzel, and wish him a recovery as well. Very speedy recovery. Hope you're able to enjoy the game tonight, Brian. We're pulling for you. Sox 5, Indians 4. Midray Cummings leads off. Hits this one in the air to left field. Brian Giles over to make the catch, 1 out.
Well, that's some good news on Brian Quinzel. Certainly hope everything goes well.
Number 20.
He's able to watch the game tonight. Sox 5 and Indians 4 as we go to the top of the order now, and Darren Lewis. A single for 3 for Lewis tonight. Pushes the bunt, gets it past the pitcher, played by Tomey. The race to the bag, won by Lewis.
Well, that's the ideal bunch. You want to take that first baseman off the bag, try to make him field it, and beat the pitcher. And if there's any kind of hesitation at all by the pitcher, you're going to beat him easily. Lewis already has a step on him there, and a no contest at first base. Almost every time Lewis bunts, he pushes that ball toward the first base side. Almost like a left-hander or with a drag bunt. Nice job by Lewis. 2 for 4 last night. He's got a couple of hits tonight and hit a hard line drive that ended up in a double play.
He's aboard with 1 out. Here's Darren Bragg. Bragg takes one way wide. 1 ball, no strikes. A couple of years ago, the Red Sox could not beat the Indians. Indians beat them 11 times in 12 meetings. Sox won the season series last year, 6 games to 5, and have won 6 of 7 meetings against the Indians this year. Runner goes, pitches a ball, the throw by Alomar. It's a successful steal, second of the night for Darren Lewis.
Well, O.J. a little bit more tough to run on than Gooden. Not as high a leg kick, but an excellent jump at first base by Lewis. He's got 16 now on the season. Trying to keep the pressure on. The bunt base hit, the stolen base. Gets in the scoring position with one out.
Now 3-0 on Bragg. And up high for ball 4. So 2 aboard for the Red Sox with 1 out.
Number 5, the shortstop, Nomar Garcia-Hanna.
Well, O.J. in difficulty here in the 6th inning. 2 on, 1 out. Nomar Garcia-Parra coming up for the Red Sox. Couple of doubles for Nomar, and then hit by a pitch his last last inning. Sox about hit the Indians now, 8-6. They lead on the scoreboard. Where it counts in the run column, 5-4. Trying to add to that total here in the 6th inning.
Well, we got a couple of balloons on the field. Giles already crushed one. Now Lofton's going to chase down the other one. Oh, and he missed it. Oh. This can be embarrassing.
Mission accomplished.
Wally the Green Monster will take the remains of that balloon. And what do you think Wally does with it? Think he maybe eats that? Or?
I don't know, but he must be warm inside that left field wall tonight. Well, he has a couple of quarts of lemonade. One ball, no strikes on Nomar. What's
You don't want to know about.
That's a strike, 1-1. O.J., 27 years old, a native of Lake Charles, Louisiana, product of LSU. Indians' 3rd round selection in the June 1991 draft. Garcia-Parra drives this one deep out to center field. Lofton back, way back, gone! Home run for Nomar Garcia-Parra. A 3-run shot for Nomar, and the Red Sox now have 8 runs. It's 8-4.
Well, Nomar piling up the total bases here tonight in this ball game. Straight away center field, I believe, off the back wall over the camera position. 4 RBI now for Nomar, 2 doubles, the home run. That ball is crushed.
Home run for Nomar Garcia-Parra. 3-run blast for Nomar. The grand slam by O'Leary. 8-4 Red Sox lead.
You know he got it good, but he's not quite sure yet. He can be sure now. That's where the big boys hit him out there. Maloney telling me exactly where it went.
Sox have doubled the Indians. It's 8-4. Here's Mo Vaughn. Vaughn pops it straight up. David Bell will handle the infield fly for the 2nd out. Mo out on a pop up to second base, and here's Troy O'Leary. OJ delivers strike one. 8 runs, 9 hits now for the Sox. 4 runs, 6 hits. For Mike Hargrove and company. Inside fastball evens the count at 1-1. Ground ball foul down the first base line. Leary's last at bat. Sox trailing 4-1. The bases loaded. The bases unloaded as O'Leary high in the air drops it over the left field wall. His 15th home run of the year. The grand slam gave the Red Sox the 5-4 lead. This one on a line to center field. On comes Kenny Lofton to make the catch. And that will retire the side. Sox get 3, though, on the home run by Nomar Garcia-Parra. They lead the Indians 8-4 as we head to the late inning. Nessa, by the way, coming your way Saturday night from Detroit at 7 o'clock. In Wakefield dealing here to Travis Fryman. We get underway in the 7th inning. Detroit City is the destination for the Red Sox after this one tonight. Next game on Nesson Saturday. Steve Avery and Frank Castillo matched up 7 o'clock on Saturday evening. It'll be the second of the 3-game series. Jin-Ho Cho, Steve Avery, and Brett Saberhagen go for the Sox in the series in Detroit. And it's Martinez and Wakefield in the doubleheader in Cleveland on Tuesday. Travis Fryman with 4 career home runs against Wakefield chops this one foul down the third baseline. Everybody wants the souvenir. Who's going to get it?
Good choice.
The little guy. Yeah, great choice. The little guy will take home a baseball. Knuckleball drops down to the ankles. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
It's like Mayhay and Lowe loosening up in the Red Sox bullpen as we start the 7th inning.
Fastball fouled away. Wakefield's pitch count is not as important as some others, but he has thrown 94 to this point of the ball game. Ballers can rack him up. Fryman is 1 for 2 tonight, a home run, and is hit into a double play as Wakefield missed inside for ball 4. Just the second walk issued by Wakefield tonight. Sox with an 8-4 lead over the Indians, but we're in Fenway, and Cleveland has that explosive offense. Here's Sandy Alomar, the Indian catcher. Ground ball right side. Could be 2. There's 1. Nomar can't get it out of the glove. Bumped there at second base by Travis Fryman. They're going to settle for 1.
He was coming so hard across that bag. So much momentum going across the bag that he bobbled the ball. Couldn't get a handle on it. And couldn't make the throw to first base. It looked like it was going to be the double play. Good quick action by Benjamin. Watch Nomar charge across that bag, and he can't quite get the handle on it out of the glove.
The second baseman.
Better to hold on to it at that point than let it go. Fryman going outside the baseline just a bit, but still could keep contact with the bag, so it's a good legal slide.
David Bell, the hitter for the Indians, 1 for 2 tonight. Bell had a 2-run homer back in the second inning. Baltimore has won 7 in a row. Beat Texas last night, and the Orioles had 19 hits in the ball game. Foul back by Bell. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sandy Alomar aboard with one out here in the 7th inning for Cleveland. Line drive foul down the third base line. Still 2-2 on Bell. Grandfather Gus Bell, longtime National Leaguer. Father Buddy Bell, American League third baseman with both the Texas Rangers and Cleveland Indians. And now David Bell playing for the Tribe. It's Lewis to make the catch for the second out of the inning. Picks up the top of the order now for the Indians. Here's Kenny Lofton in the 5th inning. Keep an eye on him. He hits the ball out to left center field, slicing away from Darren Lewis. But we isolate on Lofton. Watch him scoop. Round second and heads for third.
I think when he hit it, he didn't even think it was going to be a triple. Didn't really get out of the box like it was going to be 3. But once he saw it get by Lewis, it was lights out.
Batting here with Sandy Alomar at first base. 2 outs in the Indian half of the 7th inning. Takes a called strike. Third in the American League in stolen bases this year with 28. Ricky Henderson leads, followed by Stewart, and then Lofton. Lofton this time sends it to left center, and this time Lewis able to make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. 7th inning stretch here at Fenway. Sox 8, Indians 4.
The Red Sox have the 8-4 lead. This August 11th is Wally the Beanbag Buddy Day at Fenway. The first 15,000 fans, 15 and under, receive a Wally the Beanbag Buddy compliments of Fenway Franks. To order tickets, call 617-482-4SOX.
Really, the August 11th, Sox get back here to Fenway Park. One homestand prior to that. That's against the Blue Jays, the 23rd through the 26th of this month. Chad O.J. back out there for the Indians. Sox have an 8-4 lead coming to bat here, bottom of the 7th inning.
Now batting for the Red Sox.
White Gooden started. O.J. now his 2nd inning of relief.
Baseman, John Valentin.
John Valentin, Scott Hatteberg, Mike Benjamin for the Red Sox. Fastball from O.J. for strike 1. Breaking ball missed inside. That evens the count. A ball and a strike on John Valentin. That's a strike, says Jim McKean. High fastball, and Valentin down on strikes.
Jay, good pitches. The fastball, curveball, changeup. This is a high fastball up out of the strike zone, about letter high.
Scott Hatteberg.
Picks up his first strikeout since coming into the ball game for Gooden.
One gone here in the home 7th. Scott Hatteberg, who has gone 0 for 3 tonight, trying to extend a 5-game hitting streak. Four home runs in the ball game. The solo job by Fryman, the 2-run blast by David Bell of the Indians back in the 2nd inning. Grand slam by Troy O'Leary for the Red Sox in the 5th, and the 3-run home run last inning by Nomar Garcia-Parra in the 6th. Hatteberg drives drives this one to right field, scooting over Ramirez to make a nice catch. Hatteberg making a bid there to extend the streak, but Ramirez snares the line drive, 2 outs.
It's been a couple of nice plays in this series, Ramirez in right field. Last night going back toward the wall. This time on the line drive. Got a very good jump on the line drive. And able to take extra bases away from Hatteberg.
Two outs in the 7th. Mike Benjamin at the plate. Benjamin has walked, singled to left, and flied to center. Two balls and a strike. Red Sox 8 runs, 9 hits on the night. They've had double digits in hits, 10. Only one time since the All-Star break. That was Monday night in that 2-0 win at Tampa. This is the most runs the Sox have scored in a game since the All-Star break. They got 7 in the final game of the series against the Orioles. 8 tonight for Jimmy Williams' crew. They have an 8-4 lead over the Tribe. Benjamin flies to center, and he lofted with a lot of room, deepest part of the ballpark, back to make the catch, and that retires the side. 1-2-3 go the Red Sox in the 7th inning. 7 complete here at Fenway. Boston 8 and Cleveland 4. And the Cleveland Indians 4. Cleveland coming to bat here, top of the 8th inning. And a quiet homestand so far for the Red Sox bullpen. Pedro Martinez went the distance last night, in Wakefield pitching into the 8th inning tonight. Omar Vizquel to lead it off, David Justice and Jim Thome to follow. Indians got 3 off Wakefield in the 2nd on the home runs by Fryman and Bell. They added another run in the 5th inning on the double by Vizquel. Vizquel hits this one in the air to left field, but it's right at Troy O'Leary, 1 out.
And this copyrighted program is brought to you under pay cable TV rights granted by the Boston Red Sox solely for entertainment of our viewing audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the written consent of the New England Sports Network and the Boston Red Sox is prohibited.
Designated hitter David Justice, a double for 3 tonight. Ground ball foul past Al Bumbry. Indians not pressed too much in the Central Division this year. They've led it wire to wire. They've been the only champion the Central Division has ever known. Indians start the night with an 11.5 game lead over the 2nd place duo of Kansas City and Minnesota. Justice in the air to center field. Hit well. Back is Lewis. It's gone. A home run for Justice. He crushed that one into the center field bleachers. 3rd home run tonight off of Wakefield.
Number 13 on the season for David Justice. And that's probably going to run Wakefield from the ball game. Had a double in his first at bat. Wakefield got him the next 2 times, but this time he'll get Wakefield. 3rd home run he's allowed tonight. 2 of them have been solo home runs.
Justice goes deep. Jimmy Williams comes out to make a pitching change. That'll be all for Wakefield. Tim gets a nice round of applause from the crowd here at Fenway as he leaves. Having worked 7 in the 3rd innings, give up 5 runs tonight, but was backed by some heavy offense by the Red Sox, and he will depart with an 8-5 advantage. We'll take a break. Back with more Red Sox baseball from Fenway right after this.
Update: the Orioles in Texas to battle the Rangers. The Red Sox with a 4-game lead on the Rangers in the wild card race, but Texas out in front early with help from B.J. Surhoff. Oops, need the ball. Tom Goodwin will score on the play. Texas has a 1-0 lead. Aaron Seeley, by the way, pitching, looking for his 13th win of the year.
Back here at Fenway, where the Red Sox lead the Cleveland Indians 8-5. Home run by David Justice here means the night for Tim Wakefield. There's the knuckler, and it leaves the yard. Justice knocks it into the center field bleachers. Justice with the home run. Pitching change for the Red Sox. Ron Mayhay on to pitch to Jim Thome.
Well, after a good month of June, Mayhay has struggled here in July. Tough outing. Picked up his first loss last time out against Tampa Bay. A third of an inning. Couple of hits, a run. It was earned.
Thome 0 for 3 against the knuckleballer tonight. Now facing the left-hander.
And probably maybe just to face the one-hitter here this inning. Thome, you get the right-hander Ramirez on deck.
Three and 0. Tom Gordon, Derek Lowe in the bullpen for the Red Sox. There's a strike to Thome. Hot shot up the middle, but Garcia Parra positioned right behind the second base bag and throws him out.
Well, Red Sox infield playing Thome to pull, and it pays off. Garcia Parra playing right behind second base. Bounces off the mound and almost off the second base bag. But Nomar in good position and has an easy second out, and that's going to be it for Mayhay, the one-hitter. And on will come Derek Lowe to try to get the third out of this inning.
Mayhay on to retire Thome. That'll be all. Jimmy Williams makes the pitching change. Call goes out to the bullpen. Derek Lowe trotting in. We'll take a break. Manny Ramirez is 0 for 3 tonight. He struck out twice. Sandwiched those around a ground ball to short in the 4th inning. Toronto snapping a 4-game losing streak this afternoon. Oakland continues its fine play out west. Sox will visit Detroit next. Baltimore's won 7 in a row. Tampa Bay and Anaheim follow this one tonight here on NESN. Ramirez hits it over into the Cleveland dugout. 2 balls and a strike. Hot shot, speared it short by Garcia Parra, and that will retire the side. Ramirez was on that pitch. And right into the glove of Nomar. Big smile there from Derek Lowe. 1 run in the inning on the home run by Justice. 7.5 played here at Fenway. Sox 8, Indians 5. Tonight, the Red Sox with an 8-5 advantage over the Cleveland Indians. Troy O'Leary hit his second career grand slam. That gave the Red Sox the lead 5-4 back in the 5th inning. Nomar Garcia Parra hit a home run into the center field bleachers. That was a 3-run shot that came in the 6th. Nomar also has a couple of doubles. He's knocked in 4 runs tonight. Bell, Fryman, and Justice all have homered for the Cleveland Indians. But it's the Sox on top, 8-5. Midray Cummings to lead it off for the Red Sox here against Chad O.J. in the 8th inning. And Darren Lewis and Darren Bragg at the top of the order to follow. Breaking ball for a strike on Cummings, who has been called out on strikes tonight. Walked and flied to left. Ground ball up the middle, a base hit for Midre Cummings. His first safety of the night.
Number 20, the center fielder.
Pitch is going to be away from Cummings. He'll hook it and hit it right back up the middle, past the glove of O.J. and past Bell for the base hit. 1 for 3 last night with the big home run, of course. 1 for 3 again tonight for Midre.
Top of the order, Darren Lewis, who already has 2 hits on the night. There's the bunt attempt on the right side. Got it past the pitcher again. Safe at first base. It's a base hit for Darren Lewis.
Tomey gave up on this bunt because he probably figured nobody was going to be at first base to cover first. O.J. broke the wrong way. He's breaking toward third base. And there's Tomey peeling off, going back to the bag. O.J. with the underhand flip, but not in time to get Lewis. See that curveball as a pitch, you think, well, he's going to bunt it on a third base line. Not the case. O.J. had to quickly regroup, but can't get there in time.
Couple of bunt singles for Darren Lewis tonight. 3 hits total. 2 on, nobody out for the Red Sox. They try and add to a 3-run advantage here in the bottom of the 8th. Swing and a miss by Darren Bragg. Bragg has a double and a walk in 4 trips.
Nice to see double digits in hits for the Red Sox tonight.
Yeah, I mentioned they had just the 10 hits Monday night in not in Arizona. Where were they? Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is the other expansion team. Seems like we've been all over the place to Arizona and back, but it's the only time Monday night at Tampa the Sox prior to tonight had double digits in hits since the All-Star break. Bragg shoots it up the middle. Base hit. Center field being waved home now is Midre Cummings. Here comes Kenny Lofton's throw to the plate. It will not be in time. Cummings scores. The Red Sox lead it 9-5 on the RBI single by Bragg.
Tell you what, Alomar almost made a heck of a play here at home plate. They sit up the middle now. Not too deep was Lofton. He puts a good charge on the ball, and it looks like it's going to be a very close play. Watch Alomar scoop this ball and try to apply the tag at the same time. Can't do it in time. Midre Cummings comes across with another run. That's a tough ball for Alomar to handle. He's got to deal with the runner, the short hop. Midre Cummings slides inside the baseball. Still nobody out.
Lewis at second, Bragg at first, and Omar Garcia-Parra at the plate. Garcia-Parra has had a great night, a couple of doubles and a home run. He's driven in 4 runs tonight, fouls this one back towards Vaughn in the on-deck circle. Omar's last trip to the plate came in the 6th inning. 2 teammates aboard, and he crushes it to center field. Jerry said that's where the big boys hit him, and Omar knocks it out of the yard, a 3-run homer. Back safely at second base is Darren Lewis. Check swing over into the Red Sox dugout. Didn't miss Bob Tomaselli by much, but he's okay, thankfully. Just rolled to his left. Where is Mr. Tomaselli? Make sure he's okay. Keep panning. Now he's waving down there, so I guess he's all right. Garcia-Parra drives this one towards the wall. It's off the wall, rounding third. Heading home is Lewis. It'll just be a single, a long single for Nomar. Another RBI, is 5th of the night. And the Red Sox are in double digits now in runs with 10. They lead the Indians 10-5.
Well, this is the 3rd time this year that Nomar has had 5 RBI in a game. April 14th against Oakland, also April 21st against the Tigers, and tonight. Ball hit so hard that Nomar has to hold up at first base. Lewis comes across with the 10th run. The Red Sox now with a nice comfortable 5-run lead.
Mike Hargrove out. And he will make the pitching change, and that'll be all for O.J. O.J. was really cuffed around by the Red Sox tonight. Goes 2+ innings. Didn't get anybody out here in the 8th, and surrenders 5 runs to the Sox and is still responsible for Bragg and Garcia-Parra on the base paths. So the call has gone out to the bullpen. We'll take a break. Back with more baseball from Fenway after this.
Lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tune in tomorrow morning for NESN Sports Desk. Bob Rogers will get you ready to start the day with a review of everything in sports from the night before. So get all the highlight scores and news tomorrow on Sports Desk starting at 5 a.m. on NESN.
A new pitcher for the Indians with Mo Vaughn coming in. The left-hander is Alvin Mormon.
Making his 30th appearance of the season, a record of 0-1. 15 strikeouts in 21 and a third innings. Opponents hitting .278, but lefties only hitting .211. And of course, he'll be facing Mo Vaughn in this situation.
Now the Red Sox with 10 runs, 13 hits. Both of those are highs for the ball club since the All-Star break. Mo Vaughn has not taken part in the festivities. He's gone 0 for 3 tonight and has drawn a walk. Vaughn actually has been hitless in this series against the Indians. Mormon gets in a couple of warm-up tosses. He's all set to go, and we're set to resume here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Number 42, the first baseman.
Sox may probably would stick with Lowe now. I would think no longer a save opportunity. If they want to get Gordon some work in the 9th inning. Although I don't see Tom throwing out in the bullpen.
Well, you don't treat 5 runs here at Fenway like you do at most ballparks, especially when the wind's blowing out.
And the Indians are in town.
Right.
Sox have Bragg at third base. They've got Nomar over at first. Indians with the infield in, and Mo Vaughn facing the left-handed throwing Alvin Mormon. Swing and a miss by Vaughn.
Get the sense that Mo might be pressing a little bit. Crowd reaction the last couple of nights. Nobody likes to hear that.
Of course, you have a night like Vaughn is having tonight. It becomes a little more one way than the other. It was mixed, basically, both at the start of tonight and last night. Mo hearing a few more catcalls tonight after a tough evening. Down to Mormon. No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Vaughn down on strikes, and that'll bring a few boos from the crowd here at Fenway.
Yeah, the only way you change that reaction, at least temporarily, is with the long ball. Breaking ball of Vaughn. He strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. And he may be happy to get back on the road and out to Detroit.
The first out recorded by the Indians here in the 8th. Here's Troy O'Leary, who had the big grand slam in the 5th inning.
I remember coming to games as a kid, and they'd be booing a guy, you know, and he hit a home run, and I'd ask my father, how come they change their mind so quick? He says, well, that's growing up in New England, son.
Those are fans. One ball, 1 strike. We're behind you, winner tie. O'Leary, line drive. comes Bragg. Garcia Parra will stop at second base. It's an RBI single for O'Leary. He's knocked in. 5 runs tonight to match Garcia Parra. It's 11-5 in favor of the Sox.
It had been a struggle too recently for O'Leary. He did have a hit in the ball game last night, and now 2 tonight. Plus the big grand slam, and now another RBI base hit. This time off the lefty. O'Leary continues to do well against left-handed pitching.
That OJ's ERA is going to take a beating tonight. 2+ innings. That's now 6 runs charged to OJ. He's still responsible for Nomar Garcia Parra at second base. John Valentin at the plate for the Sox, and Valentin whistles one towards the left field corner. That'll roll all the way to the wall. Garcia Parra scores. O'Leary to third base. It's a 2-base hit for Valentin. It's 12-5 Red Sox.
Valentin now with 28 doubles on the season. That'll put him 4th in the league, tied with Juan Gonzalez.
Scott Hatteberg.
Couple of hits the other way in this series. Now pulls the ball on that left field line, and that's where most of his doubles go, right down that left field line.
So OJ's line complete. 2+. He gives up 7 runs, 5 hits while he was in there. Indians with the infield in again. Runners at second and third for the Sox with 1 out. Scott Hatteberg at the plate. Hatteberg being given another chance to extend that 5-game hitting streak, which is a career high. Sox have 15 hits tonight, a dozen runs. Six-game hitting streak now for Hatteberg. Base knock to right field. In to score comes O'Leary. Valentin to third. That's a career-high hitting streak for Scott Hatteberg. 6 straight games, knocks in a run. It's 13-5.
Well, what was interesting about this inning is the fact that Jimmy Williams was playing for one more run. He had the bunt play on with Lewis. He ended up beating that out. And the Red Sox have tacked on a few since then. Hargrove one more time out to the mound. O'Leary 5 RBIs. First time in his career he's done that. We mentioned Nomar. 3rd time this season he's had 5 RBI in a ball game.
Sox have had a 4-run inning. That was O'Leary's grand slam, a 3-run inning. Garcia Parra's home run into the center field bleachers, and they've outdone themselves with a 5-run inning here in the 8th. They've got a 13-5 lead. We'll meet another Cleveland pitcher when we return.
The 8th inning, now have a 13-5 lead. Check out NESN.com for the most complete coverage in New England sports. Get the latest information about the region's professional teams. Read the best features on New England's hottest outdoor sports. For all this and more, just surf on over to NESN.com, your online ticket to New England sports. Is that a Beach Boys tune they play there? Surf on over, Beach Boys?
Sounds good. Now Jose Mesa coming on in a mop-up role here tonight. His team behind 13-5.
Well, just a little while ago, Mesa was the closer on this team. He's had some problems and not in that role anymore. That belongs to Mike Jackson. See the numbers for Mesa. He struggled. The ERA at 5.22.
Took 2 in the 3rd innings on Sunday against the Twins. They touched him up for 5 runs and 6 hits.
Mike Benjamin.
Red Sox have batted around here in the bottom of the 8th. Everyone in the lineup except Mo has a base hit. In fact, Mo was the only hitter that Alvin Mormon was able to get out while he was in there. So struggles continue for Vaughn on the homestand. Sox are up 13-5. Mike Benjamin line drive, base hit, right field. And we'll play John Valentin. It's 14-5.
Well, a lot of Red Sox hitters getting healthy in this one, especially toward the end of the ball game. Benjamin, good fastball hitter. He'll take it to the opposite field and drive in his 28th run of the season. As Valentin comes across to score. Valentin scored 66 runs on the season. He's in the top 10 in that category.
Ray Cummings at the plate. Cummings opened the inning with a base hit to center. Dwight Gooden, Chad O.J., Alvin Moorman, and now Jose Mesa for the Indians. Sox still have 2 on, still only 1 out in the inning. Cummings is hit by a pitch, and that will load the bases. Not much to smile about in the Cleveland dugout tonight.
Number 20, the center fielder, Darren Lewis.
Right off the toe for Ray Cummings. That has to hurt. A little dance before he heads down that first base line.
Second at bat this inning for Darren Lewis. Red Sox have now sent 11 men to the plate here in the bottom of the 11th. One ball, 1 strike on Lewis. Lewis with 3 hits tonight, 2 bunt singles, including 1 earlier this inning. Sox have 17 hits. Their season high this year is 20. They've reached that on a couple of occasions. Two and 1 the count. Now 3 and 1. One more ball and Mesa will walk in another run.
And Lewis already has 3 hits in a night. With a little luck could have had a 4th, but that ended up in a double play. Line drive right at Tomey.
Lewis line drive, that's foul down the right field line. That'll run the count full. Talking to one of their opens the other night about how the fact the Red Sox hit better at Fenway they did on the road, all the hitting struggles. Weren't able to break through last night with Cologne pitching, but it's been a different story tonight. The 3-2 pitch is up high for ball 4. That'll force in a run. It's 15-5.
Well, it's going to be Mesa for a while because there's nobody in that bullpen loosening up.
Pitching coach Mark Wiley coming out. There's still only 1 out in the inning for the Red Sox. They have scored 7 runs here in the 8th inning. Sox scored 11 runs in the 3rd inning, May 31st at New York.
Number 56, the right fielder, Darren Bragg.
Benjamin at 3rd, Cummings down at 2nd, Lewis at 1st, and here's Darren Bragg. Sox are puffing up the offensive statistics here against the Tribe bullpen in the 8th inning. Bragg lines one right down the right field line, just foul. A bid for second grand slam of the night on the wrong side of the foul pole. In the dirt, that one will bounce away from Alomar. No advancement by the Red Sox. Benjamin holding his position at third base.
Well, you've got to respect Alomar on that. He went after it like it was a one-run ball game, and that runner at third was going to be the winning run. Hustling all the way, chasing the ball down. Like he hit off his shin guard. Going to the slide and looked to home plate, but the run is not coming.
And he went after that hard. Ground ball to short, could be two. Vizquel to Bell, over to Tomey for the inning-ending double play. And that'll finally close the door on the Red Sox. Bragg hit it hard, but knocks into the 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Sox score 7. They lead the Tribe 15-5. Red Sox baseball has been brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places and do things you never thought possible. Fly Southwest Airlines. By Citizens Bank, not your typical bank. By Mobile, introducing the fastest way to get gas, Mobile Speed Pass. It's free and it's only at Mobile. By Cellular One, the wireless phone company. And by Hoover. Nobody gets to dirt like Hoover. Nobody. Under the lights here at Fenway Park tonight, the homestand has proved to be just what the doctor ordered for the Red Sox. Not Doc Gooden, certainly, but 1-0 last night. The Sox, Pedro Martinez outdueling Bartolo Colon, and tonight the Sox clubbing the Indians 15-5 as they go for the 2-game sweep. It's not a save situation for Tom Gordon, but it is for Derek Lowe, because he entered the ball game back in the 8th inning with the Sox up by 3, 8-5. And so Lowe will finish out, and if he does, without being replaced, he will pick up a save in the ball game. Wakefield stands to win his 11th game of the year. Doc Gooden is on the hook for the loss. Sox with a 10-run lead as we begin the top of the 9th inning. Brian Giles, Travis Fryman, Sandy Alomar. Line drive, base hit, left field. First hit of the night for Giles.
Well, you can never have enough runs when you're facing Cleveland. They've got the very potent offense. Red Sox have done a pretty good job tonight, keeping them in check for 5 runs. Great job last night by Martinez.
Mind you, again, this is the first of 2 tonight. We get done here tonight, we'll head out west. Tampa Bay and Anaheim dueling tonight at Edison Field. The Angels and the Devil Rays, second half of our Nesson doubleheader. Strike 2. 2 strikes on Fryman, who homered in the first, hit into a 5-4-3 double play in the 4th, and then walked in the 7th. Here's a ground ball chopped foul down the third baseline.
Did your house alarm go off, Bob?
I don't think so. What's that, the press box alarm?
Do we have to evacuate, or we finish the game?
I was just wondering that. No, I guess not.
I guess we go down with the ship.
Fryman taps his foul at the plate. Still 2 strikes to count. Sox leave after the game for Detroit. The Indians head to Chicago to meet Albert Bell and the White Sox. And the two clubs get back together next Tuesday in Cleveland for a day-night doubleheader at Jacobs Field. Sawed off was Fryman. Low to Vaughn for the out as Giles moves to second. One gone for the Indians here in the ninth inning. You can hear that bat shatter all over the ballpark.
Well, I guess that fastball running right back in on the hands of Travis Fryman.
Number 15, the catcher, Sandy Alomar.
One out in the ninth inning. Here's Sandy Alomar, who has a single for 3 tonight. Foul back, 0-2. Wakefield, the starter, went 7 1/3 innings left following Justice's home run in the 8th. Wakefield gave up 5 runs, 7 hits while he was in there. Home runs to Fryman, Bell, and Justice. Tim struck out 6, walked 2. At the win, he'll be 1 behind Martinez. Pedro with 12, and Sox win this one. Wakefield will check in with 11. One-two pitch. Right back to low. We'll check the runner Giles back to second. Throws out Sandy Alomar. 2 outs.
Number 6, the second baseman.
Indians down to their final out. Second baseman David Bell, the batter. Bell 1 for 3 tonight with a 2-run homer back in the second inning. Lowe came on to get Ramirez the final out of the 8th inning. Ramirez on a line drive to Garcia Parra at short. Took the leadoff single to Giles here in the 9th, but has gotten both Fryman and Alomar on comebackers. And gets this ground ball to John Valentin at third base. The big scoop by Mo over at first. That'll retire David Bell. And that's the night for the Indians. The Red Sox return home to Fenway Park and sweep the Tribe. They win 2 here from the Cleveland Indians. A 1-0 4-hit gem last night by Pedro Martinez as he outduels Bartolo Colon. Completely different here tonight. A 15-5 ball game. 15 runs for the Red Sox, 17 hits and no errors, and for the Indians, 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Tim Wakefield wins for the 11th time this year. Citizens Bank presents the not your typical player of the game, and our player of the game tonight, Nomar Garcia Parra, a heady 4 for 4, including a 3-run homer into the center field bleachers. 2 doubles for Nomar, 5 runs batted in. O'Leary also with 5 RBIs tonight. Garcia Parra scored 3 runs. Player of the game has been brought to you by Citizens Bank, not your typical bank.
And the mobile extra mile play of the game, the grand slam home run by Troy O'Leary. This got the Red Sox offense going tonight. That gave the Red Sox the lead at the time for O'Leary. Home run number 15. RBIs 49, 50, 51, and 52. He added 53 later on in the ball game. Mobile goes the extra mile for you.
Now a 2-game sweep for the Red Sox. They win this one 15-5 the final. Wakefield again gets the win. His 11th of the year. Derek Lowe picks up his first save. Doc Gooden suffers the loss. He is 3-4. Stay tuned for Bob Rogers and more Red Sox baseball.